Ace found herself lost in a dark immensity, a void without form or sound. She had no idea where she was or why she had been taken to that place. When she looked at herself, she noticed something strange. Her hands and feet were small and delicate, her skin soft and young. The simple clothes she wore brought her a familiar feeling, like a distant memory. Somehow, she had become a child again. Without understanding why, Ace realized she was completely alone. Loneliness weighed on her like the cold of the surrounding darkness. For a moment, fear began to take hold, until small figures appeared at her feet, illuminating the gloom. They were childhood friends, twin dolls, a plush wolf, a tin man, and even shimmering fairies dancing in the air. There were also toy soldiers with pointed helmets and warrior cats with bright eyes. Surrounded by them all, Ace felt courage welling up in her chest. With a sword and a wooden shield in hand, she decided to embark with her companions on a new adventure, ready to face whatever existed in that darkness. The group set off on their journey through the dark labyrinth. Despite the darkness that surrounded them, Ace felt no fear at all. Each step seemed guided by a pure, childlike courage. Monsters emerged from the shadows, but were easily defeated with the help of her little companions. Fairies illuminated the path with colorful lights, while magical creatures and living toys fought alongside her with determination. Soon, the labyrinth was filled with joyful sounds. Music echoed between the walls, drums rumbled, trumpets sounded, and footsteps marked the rhythm of a heroic march. Everyone followed Ace enthusiastically, singing and smiling as they descended deeper and deeper. The darkness grew, but the adventure seemed endless, descending, always further down, as if searching for something hidden in the depths of that mysterious world. But as they descended, the darkness began to change. The air grew heavy, cold, and a strange wind blew, bringing a metallic smell. Ace felt something warm splash on her face. When she opened her eyes, the sound of laughter and music had vanished. Silence took over. Slowly, she turned around, and her heart froze. Before her, the friends who had once smiled lay fallen, torn, broken, arms and legs ripped off, bodies twisted, button eyes dripping red tears. The ground was covered in blood and pieces of the companions who had once accompanied her. Horrified, Ace looked at her own hands and saw the sword she held stained red. Blood still dripped from it, as if silently blaming her. A cold wind swept through her body, and then a laugh echoed in the darkness. The laugh intensified, distorted and cruel, as the wind swirled around Ace, transforming into a savage storm. Everything around was destroyed. The remains of her friends were thrown into the air and exploded in a red rain. Blood and body fragments fell like a grotesque storm, painting the darkness in crimson hues. Ace, soaked and motionless, felt something inside her break apart. Despair took hold. A scream tore through her throat, echoing like the sound of a shattered heart. Ice began to form around her, rising into sharp pillars, a prison created by fear itself. It was as if the ice tried to protect what remained of her soul. And, above her, a colossal presence watched her with delight. A monstrous creature, with a grotesque tongue and hungry gaze, whispered a name, Area, as it roamed the prison with cruel pleasure, trapping Ace in her eternal nightmare. Trapped between the cold and the horror, Ace's body seemed frozen, but her mind burned in a whirlwind of pain and distorted memories. The creature's sound echoed like 1,000 voices in disarray, and each syllable of Area sounded like a curse etched into her heart. The darkness seemed alive, as if it wanted to swallow her, dragging her deeper and deeper into an abyss of guilt and despair. When a monstrous tongue grazed the ice that surrounded her, Ace closed her eyes, and, for a moment, everything fell silent. The wind ceased. The blood stopped flowing. The world froze completely. In that void, she saw a distant glimmer. Weak, almost imperceptible, but real. A memory, a soft voice calling her name. It was the echo of who she had been, the last vestige of her light. And it was in that flash of consciousness that Ace realized this was not just a dream, but the reflection of an ancient fear that still lived within her. The monster before her was nothing more than the distorted form of her own pain. The nightmare would not dominate her forever. With trembling hands, she raised her gaze and, for the first time, faced the abyss. The cold shattered, and the darkness began to crack like glass. When silence fell once more, a gentle breeze blew, and the nightmare crumbled into fragments, vanishing like snow in the sun. But the echo of that distant laughter still lingered, dormant deep within her soul.